Hello, good evening, this is Diecast Lee, and I hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to the episode of Vintage Matchbox Mondays. Vintage Matchbox Mondays on a Tuesday, funnily enough, as I couldn't do it yesterday, just basically I did not have time to upload it on the Monday. Just been really busy, that's just the end of it. I've just been really busy. Like I've said before, sometimes when I pick up the cars for the Matchbox Mondays episodes, sometimes I do get them ahead of time, but recently I've been picking them up on the day. So like I said, I just didn't have any content to show even if I wanted to. But anyway, I did go out today and pick the cars up this morning, and we're going to do the Mondays episode on a Tuesday. So anyway, let's get straight on with it. Pan the camera down in usual fashion and take a look at what I picked up this week. A bit of zoom. So the first car, we'll put that one to one side for a second. Now I presume it's called I think it's a Tanzania. Is it Tanzania? But I have got an original one of these that I've had in my collection for quite a few years. This is the they did make more than one variation of this car, and obviously this is the version which came out. Let's have a little look at the copyright. So basically, this was the version that came out just after they changed over from Lesney to Universal Toys. So it is an older casting, just obviously in a different colour. And it is one that hasn't been opened before, so we will open it up. So bear with me. Let's take a look at it. And there it is, and it's in, obviously it's in really good condition. So it is a Matchbox. Can't see it where it says it. It just says Matchbox Toys. It doesn't actually say it. I've got an original one here. Let's look at original one. So this is obviously a much older version. So there you go, Matchbox Superfast, yeah, Tanzania. I can't pronounce it. Number 53, made in England. But that is the original version. They have done, like I said, quite a few different variations of this. But this is the more original version, and it's not in too bad a condition. It's got a bit of chipping on it here and there, but you can see it's not had a too hard a life. Most of these chips are just been, like I said before, you can see they're fairly fresh. When I got this a few years ago, I think it just got banged about. It was in a box and a car boot sale, and a lot of them times when the sellers don't sell everything, they just chuck it back in the box. If they took a little bit of time and individually wrapped them, they wouldn't get these dings, because you can see this, they're not old chip marks, because the diecast would have discoloured over the years. So it's a shame really, but it's still in good enough condition for me. As you can see, it's a nice piece. So that is an original Tanzania, or whatever it's called. And then this is a later version, but still very nicely made, still made out of metal, has the same opening rear piece to it. And like I said, these are a fantasy casting, typical Matchbox 70s look, which I do like the 70s Matchbox cars. They're some of my, to be honest, the late 70s Matchbox cars and the early 80s Matchbox cars are my particular favourite, because that's what was around. That's what I played with as a kid, was all the cars from the 70s and early 80s. Anyway, this is a later version, and it's cool in the black and the silver. So anyway, so that is that. That's the first piece, and again it's got some suspension. I don't know if it's just axle flex. Don't think it is. I think it's not axle flex. I do think it's got a suspension spring in it. But anyway, so that's pretty cool. The next piece is going to be an MB4 57 Chevy, and everybody likes a 57 Chevy. Now I've got two other variations of this one. I've got it in the strange sort of, I'm not quite sure what the colour, like a pinky mauvey colour, but not quite sure. But I've got that piece, but that is put away at the moment. I'm not gonna, I know where it is, but I just thought I've got another piece I'm going to show. But before I show this variation, I will show this. So this is obviously the Milky Way on the back, but it is a cool piece. It is in awesome condition, and obviously it has the opening hood, but it is in remarkably good condition. But again, this is a later variation, so it is, as you can see, it says 79 copyright, because the original one was about 78, 79. But I'm not quite sure how old this one actually is. It's old. It's from the, I should imagine, the later 80s, because it's still metal on metal. So they did. So it's probably, yeah, I'd say mid 80s, late 80s on this particular variation. But like I said, I have got a dusky pink or a mauve version, which is the original, one of the earlier versions, and it's still, and like I said, it does say Lesney on the bottom. So anyway, so that is that variation. I'm just trying to think if it's easy enough to get my other variation out. No, I won't, because it's going to take a lot of pulling cases out. But anyway, so we got this version, and like I said, this one has been opened before. We will take a brief look at the back, so you can see 81 copyright on the box. And here it is in the red and the black, or red and black with the flame, 57 Chevy. And it's pretty much mint. It's got a looks like, I tried cleaning it earlier on, because this car was obviously opened, but the engine's got a little bit of, I'm not quite sure what it is. It didn't come off with cleaning it, so possibly the little intakes there, the throttle bodies, I suppose they would be, are a little bit faded, but other than that, it is in really nice condition. And this was one of the more popular variations of this. I've always liked this one, but and you don't, I mean, I don't, you do not see these at car boot sales. I don't know why. These don't come up very often at car boot. But obviously this was at my favourite diecast shop, so it is a cool piece. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to look to see if I can find the pinky version in a second. Just bear with me. And here it is. So you can see what I mean now. It's like a pinky sort of mauvey. I'm not quite sure, but it is in lovely condition. This one as well. It's had at some point, because I bought this one, where did I get this one from? I don't think I did buy this one. I think my partner got me this one, but it looks like somebody's had a go at sticking the grill back on at some point. But it is in nice condition nonetheless. And this is the one I had, the same variation as this as when I was a kid. I had this variation when I was a kid, but this one has the cool little bit there that covers the tops of the intakes, or the throttle bodies. But obviously this one, so there we go, 57 Chevy, yeah, made in England, Lesney. So that's that. But anyway, so there's the three of them. Very cool. And we'll put that like that. So that's today's video, not especially long, but still quite cool. I apologise for the late upload. It is supposed to be vintage Matchbox Mondays, but that's the way it goes. Stay tuned for tomorrow's movie car mania. I will be on time with that one, as I've actually got a day off tomorrow. I'm not working, so that'll be no problem. And I've got a couple of things I'm going to show tomorrow. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I think I'm going to possibly show a few cars rather than just one, possibly. And Friday night customs, that'll be happening. I've actually made leeway now with the custom I'm working on. I've actually managed to get it how I want it, so I'm not going to show it now, or you know, I'm going to keep it until Friday, but I think it's worth the wait. But anyway, with that, please like, share, subscribe, stay tuned for more vintage Matchbox Mondays, Wednesday nights movie car mania, and Friday night customs. And with that, I'll see you all very soon. Thank you for watching. Take care.